Okay, this is Simple Research for Composition, Part 4, using APA documentation style. So we left off in Part 3 with the outline that has the quoted material in it. So I recommend that you write your body paragraphs one at a time. So that means you would just need to take this information from vitamins and minerals, and only that information, and begin working on your first body paragraph. So copied and pasted it here. Because it's APA, we need to make sure that we have the year for each author and that we have the authors, all authors' names included. Okay. I have this highlighted in yellow here because I did decide not to use it in the paragraph. And it can be used in another spot. So I just made note of that. So I still have 3 sources for this first body paragraph. Okay. So this is where the challenge lies. Taking your information that you have read and studied and making sense of it all, putting it together, synthesizing it. So I will admit that I don't think this is the greatest paragraph ever. Any paragraph that has to have a lot of information in it, a lot of different information, when you're having to list statistics or ingredients or anything like that, it gets pretty messy and it lacks style, and that is the case of this very first body paragraph. So if I was writing this for a real assignment, I might make more effort to see how I can add style to this, but this is going to work for now for example. So let me remind you about basic paragraph structure. You need to start with a general topic sentence that sets up the purpose of the whole paragraph. Avocados are considered a superfood because they are chock full of vitamins and minerals which directly support a variety of health functions in the body. Okay, so that sentence alone tells me that this paragraph is going to talk about vitamins and minerals and bodily functions, okay, and how they are beneficial. Now I can get into the research. Do not include research information in your first sentence. Just don't do it. According to Megan Ware, note the 2017 here, comma goes after 2017. The fruit contains nearly 20 vitamins and minerals. And so that's the actual word-for-word quote from that particular source. I couldn't really think of another way to say that without plagiarizing, so quoted it. Now, this is where it gets messy. It is possible that this particular sentence, you wouldn't even have to cite it because it's common knowledge, because we can find this information in just bukus of sources. However, this is a research paper and you are using specific sources, so go ahead and cite your sources. And in this case, each different source had a different list of vitamins and nutrients. And so what happened here is that I combined all 3. There's no direct quoting here. It's including what other people were missing, you know. So a nice little list. These include B vitamins, vitamin C, vitamin K, vitamin E, iron, copper, manganese, phosphorus, magnesium, riboflavin, niacin, pantothenic acid, lutein, beta-carotene, and folate in no particular order. But because I pulled information from all 3 sources, I went ahead and showed that here. And note that, yes, we have mentioned Megan Ware already. If we were to mention her again in a sentence, if we were to say Ware said, we wouldn't repeat the year, but we're always going to use the year when it shows up in parentheses. Okay, so Ware 2017, semicolon. Zellman 2018, semicolon. Marber and Edgson 2004, pages 13 and 115. I really could not determine how APA does multiple separate pages. MLA shows it like this, and so I assume that just putting the 2 P's that indicate there's more than one page will suffice here. Vitamins B3, B5, and B6 boost the immune system and help consumers fight off infections, and this information comes from these sources. The B vitamins are also good for memory and concentration. So you can see Marber and Edgson, 2004, page 68. It does not matter that we've repeated Marber and Edgson. We just want to be very specific and show that this particular information came from that source. Avocados are also rich in vitamin E, which reduces inflammation and promotes healing. Furthermore, the lutein and beta-carotene in the fruit promote eye health. And don't forget, these web sources, they don't have page numbers. Don't even try to use page numbers. If you want to use paragraph numbers, you can, but I don't require it. According to Marber and Edgson 2004, we have not mentioned them in a sentence, so we do need to set it up like this. You work one paragraph at a time when it comes to this sort of thing. The nutrient-dense makeup of avocados makes this fruit an A-grade food, which means it is highly effective in producing energy, page 61. So that is your other way to cite. A-grade is in quotes because that is their specific use, their word. I am not a huge fan either of how this paragraph ends. Typically, you'd want to come back with a sentence that sort of wraps it up. Well, the problem is we're transitioning to a whole paragraph about something that was already mentioned here, the folate. So that's one issue I have. Secondly, this is a pretty good way to end, showing how nutrient dense this is and then what that denseness does. Okay, that density, I guess. So that's body paragraph 1. Looking at body paragraph 2. So did the same thing. Copied and pasted over the information that we noted for the second point for folate. Notice that I hadn't even cleaned up. This is supposed to be P, right? If I clean it up and put it all in APA. Didn't really clean that up. This is a better paragraph because it's a little bit more focused. It's easier to focus in on one thing than 20 plus. Among the many vitamins and minerals, so see we're referencing that first paragraph, we're transitioning. Folate stands out as providing significant health benefits. Okay, so it's a standout, and that's the point. We're not getting into the health benefits in the first sentence, we're just pointing out that this is like one of the superstars of the avocado. Folate, also known as folic acid or vitamin B9, is most well known because of its contribution to a healthy pregnancy. All of us mamas know this. This is common knowledge. That you are recommended to take folic acid whenever you're pregnant. So here we go. Expecting mothers are encouraged to take prenatal supplements which include this vitamin to decrease the likelihood of birth defects. This information can be found in Ware and Zellman. There is also evidence that folate can help prevent stomach and cervical cancers. Okay. A lesser known benefit of this vitamin is that it encourages good mental health. So everybody knows about it for pregnancy, but we don't know about it for mental health. Okay. Oh, I missed one. According to Ware. Now, have we mentioned her yet? No, we have not mentioned her in this paragraph. So we do need to put the date. And when I say that, yes, we've cited her parentheses, but that doesn't matter. We have to do it the first time we mention in a sentence. And so this is in a sentence. According to Ware, high levels of folate may help to decrease the risk of depression. Marber and Edgson explain that this is due to the relationship between dopamine and folate. The more dopamine a person has, the increased feelings of well-being the person experiences. The production of dopamine in the body is dependent upon the levels of folate. So increasing the consumption of a folate-rich food like avocados can encourage better mental health. So notice that we have Marber and Edgson here, and we stick with them. So there's no need to repeat them. Just the page numbers will suffice. You always cite the first time you use the source. And then if you switch up sources like we are known to do here, then you have to, keep reciting them. Okay, so the next thing that you would do, so that's the first and second body paragraphs. It's very possible that you write all of your different body paragraphs and then you realize that maybe the order doesn't make sense anymore. And so then you can change up order. That's why I think it's just really good just to focus in on one point at a time. And if you'll start out with the highlighting in different colors, then move to outline, it is unlikely that you're going to repeat yourself. So the next task here that I haven't done yet, and I'm not going to do just yet, would be to write the paragraph on heart health. Okay, and then you go on from there. Then the next one would be a general paragraph about weight management, and so forth and so on. So again, take this one point at a time. I would save introduction and conclusion for the very last things that you write. Also, abstract would be the absolute last thing that you write. One body paragraph at a time. Make sure it all makes sense. Make sure you're focused. Make sure you're using your sources properly. I hope this helps.